Prior to the year 2015, we had land grabbers dealing with real estate investors, real left, right, and center. But around 2015, a lot of individuals came up and started real estate development company whereby they will buy, land in large quantities and resell to the larger markets. Most likely they will turn into an estate, try and upgrade this land so that it will be advantageous and beneficial to their buyers. However, anytime you have good things, you will always have bad eggs in the middle of it. So today, we're going to talk about the scams that have been done or that are still being done by real estate companies in Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Iluyinka here, your favorite realtor. And on this channel, I always bring you real estate information that is fresh and authentic, and I help you to grow your wealth through real estate. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll always be updated whenever I bring you fresh information like this. So today, we're talking about scams. 5 scams that are being done by real estate companies here in Lagos, Nigeria. And also, I will also use the opportunity to let you to understand the reason why you should work with a real estate, an independent real estate consultant whenever you want to transact any real estate business. Do not do it alone. An estate surveyor and valuer or a professional consultant should accompany you through every real estate transaction that you are doing. And then they will be able to advise on any other person that you should invite at every point in time. So one of the number one, the most popular scam is the issue of the excision in process. You find out that a lot of them, this was really prominent in the year 2019, 2020, and in some cases it's still happening right now. They give you a title, Excision in Process, and you find out that this processing does not end. 4 years down the line is still under process. 5 years, actually what is happening is that they have abandoned this processing. Usually some of them, they will give you a number that you can go and check in the Alausa, registry, or maybe the Surveyor General office to show that yes, they are trying to get their registered survey and even the title. But you know what? They abandon this processing and they leave subscribers in a very bad situation, because anything can happen to land that is still under processing. The government can take it over. Even the homeowners themselves can encroach. In this kind of case, the best thing is for you to make sure that, number one, when you see excision in process, you do not even go near such land. And if you have to, make sure that you stay close to the real estate company that is selling to you and find out the exact level of processes that they are at the Alausa registry. Because the reason why people like to buy such land is that it's still affordable. It's usually lower. You see 750,000, 800,000 land, and people want to buy land that are below 1 million. They say buy 5, get 1 free. So you have an acre of land and you're just using 6 million naira to get an acre of land. So number 2 is misrepresentation of titles. Now what this means is that real estate companies, they tell you that they have Gazettes, they have Excision, and they will give you, figures that you can go and chat, maybe registered, surveys that you can go and chat that has title of Excision and the Gazette. But by the time you bring your own surveyor on site, and they take the coordinates on site, and go back to Alausa to Surveyor General office to check, you find out that they are giving you fraudulent numbers. They are giving you, coordinates of another land that is not in that same location. So that has happened to a lot of subscribers in the past, and I believe that you should know so that you would not fall into similar scams. Number 3 is when you have undisclosed fees. Undisclosed fees, some call it hidden charges. Now, I also want to say here that subscribers must learn from going forward. You must learn to also make sure that you read every contract, every FAQ. What are FAQs? Frequently asked questions. Usually, every real estate company, when you are subscribing to their estate, you get a form to fill, and they also attach a FAQ, frequently asked questions, that you should sign. And a lot of questions have been asked there, a lot of information are there. Let us not be like the popular saying that says that when you want to hide something from an African man, then you should put it in a book. Things are already written down, and most of the time we do not read. So that is where we are found liable as clients. However, these hidden charges, some of them are really ridiculous. You hear security fees, you hear supervisory fees. Some of them are really ridiculous, and you can ask questions. What do they mean? Why should I pay this? And if you're not satisfied, you don't go into the deal before you make any initial deposits. So there are some that are actually, like normal fees. Survey fee, for instance. When you pay for your land, there's something they call survey fee, which means that they are going to prepare your survey with your own name, cutting out the portion of land or the portion of acre that you are buying. Those are normal fees. Then you also have the development fees or infrastructure fees. What it basically means is that the developer is going to provide you perimeter fencing, good road network, security, power supply. All these things, they need money to provide it for you. So that is the reason why they will ask you that apart from the land cost, there will also be developmental costs that will come from you. Also, there's legal fees. Legal fees is for the preparation of your deed of assignment. So that fee is also, most of the time, they pay the lawyers, they pay the surveyor. So most of these fees don't come, it's not the companies that earn them. So that is why it comes as extra charges. Some of these developing companies are open. They show you everything. In fact, some will tell you, they give you their prices all in. That means that they will tell you the total cost of the land, which includes development fees, survey fees, it includes the legal fees, and you're not paying anything else after you pay for the land. However, because of things in the economy, our instability of the prices, cost of buying building materials is improving or increasing every day rather. So because of that, they tend to separate it so that they will be able to, give you a feedback, an appraisal if you don't pay for it in good time. So they're not hidden per se. However, like I said earlier, let every subscriber also be intentional. You are doing an investment of millions, even 100,000. It should be very important to you. So please take note of these forms that you are filling and you are signing, because usually they are on the forms. Also, when you use a real estate consultant that is professional, in fact, someone like me, from day one, when my client has told me about their interest in buying a property, I will break everything down. Land costs, survey fee costs, development fee costs, survey fee costs, legal fees. I will break it down total and send it to my client by WhatsApp, so that he will see clearly there that apart from this land cost, I still have other things I would eventually have to pay for. Some companies allow you to spread the payment, to break it down, maybe over 3 months, over 6 months, but everything should be discussed and agreed with the development company. Number 4 scam is where you have an issue of overselling. Now, clients would, developing companies would advertise, a lot of realtors will advertise this particular product to you. Clients will quickly rush and buy. You hear 50,000 naira and you can get a plot of land in so location, and clients rushing from different parts of the world, Nigerians in diaspora, everybody rushes to buy this land because it is cheap, especially that happens a lot. But guess what? the land that the developer is selling is maybe about 400 plots. Meanwhile, they've gotten over 1,000 subscribers. And the reason why they do this is because probably they are still, negotiating for more land from the Omoniles, and they are believing that deal will pull through. So they are not afraid at the beginning that once they click that extra land, no matter how many people subscribe, they will still have land to give them. But guess what? Sometimes those deals don't pull through, and the land will now be too little to share amongst every subscriber. So that's when they now start giving you conditions that, okay, if you pay 50,000 naira, you don't have land yet, you have to increase your contribution by 500,000. They give you, they give you things that you will not be able to meet, and then it leads to refund. So the issue here is that, please, let's avoid cheap. Cheap investment does not mean good investments. In fact, you should also learn that quality is much more important than quantity. If your land is in Ibejuleki and you have 10 acres, you are not better than somebody that has one plot at Admiralty Way on Lekki Phase 1 or Banana Island, for instance. Because Banana Island is going for 500 million, 600 million per plot. And you can have 12 acres in Ibejuleki that is maybe 300 million. What I'm trying to say is that everybody is investing, and you should understand your purpose of investment. But let's not mistake cheap for good investments. What Ibejuleki properties are good for, what cheap properties are good for, is that you are positioning yourself. You are positioning yourself for the future. Because people bought Morocco, people bought BGC when there was nothing there. But today, they are selling and they are cashing out. So that's exactly what you are doing when you are buying at Ibejuleki, Ekpe, all those new upcoming locations. But note here that when you are buying them, please be very careful. Make sure that you have all your documents. Make sure that you have paid everything. If you can pay up all your charges up front as fast as possible, please do so that you can get your allocation. When you get your allocation, that you put your brickles, they put your blocks. If you want to fence it round, beautiful. But it is important that you safeguard every investment that you are doing. And also, or let me say lastly, is the issue of ambiguous contracts. What do I mean by ambiguous contract? As the name implies, basically, these contracts that they give to our clients are not clear. The terms of those contracts are not very clear. But when the chips are down, they start bringing out the intricacies in those contracts, and it's usually in their favor. So you find out that most of the contracts that are being signed by most subscribers are 80% in the favor of the real estate companies. In fact, what really happened recently was a client that, they bought a portion of land, and they paid from their company's account for that land. And by the time the contract was being signed, was asked to prepare, they asked, should they prepare in the name of the company or in the name of the client? And the client said, prepare it in the name of my company, innocently. But by the time it was allocation time, they started asking for extra fees because they sold to a company. They did not sell to an individual. And that became another problem entirely. So by the time they brought out the contract, it was actually there that for companies, the land is a particular amount, for individuals a particular amount. But nobody could have imagined that. Also, what the kind of land, the kind of houses you can build. Some will tell you you cannot build a particular kind of land, or you cannot build more than a portion. For instance, maybe you buy 1,000 square meters and you already had a plan of building 3 terraces on that 1,000 square meters. But when the chips are down, they come and tell you that it's on their contract that you can only build 2 properties, one on 500 square meters. Meanwhile, this was not clearly stated in the contract. But when they bring it out, you see that it's hidden somewhere there. So the issue now, number one solution to all this problem is that you work with a real estate consultant, and you are also intentional by reading your contracts, reading your FAQ carefully, very well, before you sign any deal with any real estate company. This enables you to be protected and ensures that your investment is safe. Most of the time, real estate companies, they actually have good intentions, and some of them are learning, or they're going through their own learning curves. So if you are not guarded and protected, you might be wounded in the process. And also, apart from having your real estate consultant and estate surveyor who's very professional working with you very closely, you and also making sure that you're reading every document that is required before you even make your initial deposit. Check your FAQ, substitution form, read through it, ask questions, be very detailed. Do not rush into any real estate investment. Do not be cajoled. Do not do it quickly. Make sure you do it properly and rightly. Because at the end of the day, it's your hard-earned money, and it's always best to make sure that you protect every investment that you go into. Thank you for watching to the end, and if you found value in what we have listened to today, please subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so you'll always be updated anytime I bring lovely updates like this to you.